Hello, I'm Brianna, and you're in the lab today on the show. Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Probably not, because you've blown your eardrums. That's why Derek K. Miller's here to show you which headphones are right to you. We're going to shift from manual to automatic with Automator, and we're also going to give you the lowdown on podcasting today on the lab.
Good to see you. Welcome to the lab. This is it, the show where we're gonna demystify, explain, elucidate the ins and outs of technology so that you will come away from this show saying, oh, I get it. You'll be the kind of person your friends will come to and say, do you understand this stuff? Can you show me? And you know what? You don't even have to say, oh yeah, I learned it all from the lab. You just could say, yes, I'm an expert. Isn't that nice? Ladies and gentlemen, the wonderful Brianna, how are you today?
I am
Good
great.
to see
you know what you were just saying, though? That's kind of a bad thing, because if you're like the expert in the family, then everyone's coming to you. You got to do them all favors.
I know, isn't that awful?
Yeah.
Are you the expert in your family?
Not at all, but I know people who are, and they are always like, God, leave me alone.
Yeah, it's like being a doctor at a party.
Yeah.
I have this pain. Can you explain? Well, you know, it's all right, because to me, I mean, I enjoy it because I feel like I'm helping people use this stuff, and it just is a life changer. It can, you know, open the whole world up to you. It can give you a new creative tool for whatever your art form is, whether it's writing or music or video. I'm really excited about what technology is giving us and what it's opening up for us. And so, you know what? It's okay. You can come up to me and say, hey, I don't understand this computer. What is that? What is that internet thing you're talking about? I see we have a wonderful show. Mm-hmm. We're going to talk about Automator. We're going to talk about podcasting.
Yes.
Miss 604 is here. She's got some big fans.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
Well, yeah. I heard
like,
all about her.
I mean, I'm so excited. This is great. I'm kind of a little bit, And then Derek K. Miller. Going to talk about headphones.
Headphones.
So it is important to be able to hear. We'll find out what makes the best headphone. And you're going to do video greeting cards.
Yes.
We got a great show for you. Bubble Joy.
Bubble Joy.
Bubble Joy, baby. Tell you, it's all coming up. But first, the most important part of the show, you are callers. Let's get our first caller today on here.
This is Chris, and he's from Thunder Bay, Ontario.
Thank you, Brianna. Hello, Chris.
Hi, Leo.
How are you today?
I'm good. Yourself?
I'm wonderful. Welcome to the lab. There he is, ladies and gentlemen, all the way from Thunder Bay. So what can we do for you?
Actually, I was hooking up my old laptop to my computer because the screen has broke.
Oh, boy.
And I hooked it up to a 32-inch high-definition display.
Yep.
And I was having a bit of a problem with color correction.
It doesn't look right.
Yeah, it has a bit of a blue tint to it.
Let me ask you some questions to help diagnose this. So the laptop, you said it's old. So does it only have VGA out? Is that the only way you can hook it up?
No, it also has S-Video on it.
Ew. VGA is better than S-Video.
Yeah.
Does your TV even have VGA in?
Yes, it does.
Really? Well, you're lucky, because most TVs don't have that. What kind of, is it a TV? Is it an LCD? Is it a plasma? What kind of TV is it?
It's actually a 32-inch flat-screen LCD from Prima.
It's an LCD, okay. Which, in theory, you could use just like you would use an a computer LCD, right? Mm-hmm. So you're connecting the VGA to the VGA in on the LCD. And you're setting the resolution on the computer to the same resolution the LCD is capable of. You want to set it to the native resolution, right?
Yes.
Do you know what the native resolution is of the LCD?
No.
I would find that out. Because I can tell you, colorcast or not, you're not going to get the best display unless you give it exactly the same screen size on Windows that the monitor is capable of. So if your monitor is 1920 by 1080, if it's a 1080p monitor, that would be 1920 by 1080. Set it to that. If the monitor is, 1160 by 720, set it to that. So find out, and you can look it up you probably can look it up in the manual, look it up online, just type in the name and find it's called native resolution. So that'll help right away with clarity. Now when you say a blue cast, is it blue, 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 like you're underwater blue, or just a little bluish?
Just slightly bluish.
Okay.
Not really something.
So really what we want to do is we want to get the settings in Windows right for your monitor. That's really what's going on here. Let me show you the Windows Display Control Panel. That's where you're going to do all this. Are you an XP or Vista?
Actually, I'm a Mac user, but on the laptop I have Vista.
You say that like you're apologizing. Okay. Well, this is the XP control panel, but you know you can also do it in. Goodness gracious, what happened to my control panel? I have one control panel item here. Here we go. Appearances and themes. We're going to go to the display control panel. And there's a couple of things that you want to look at in the display control panel. First of all, we're going to talk a little bit about settings. That's where you choose, where you'll see what monitor you have. Now, I bet you anything that yours says default monitor. That's the least desirable thing to have there. What you really want it to say is the exact brand name of your monitor, which is unlikely unless your monitor was designed to also work with a computer. Well, it was, wasn't it? You got a VGA input. You might be able to find a driver for it. The driver for a monitor isn't actually software. It's really a text file that describes what the monitor is capable of. And you want it to tell you the native resolution, for instance. You know, that you want to set that there. Now, we also want to make sure that the colors are set properly, and that's, I think, what's going on. So if you notice what I did there is I clicked the Advanced tab in the Display Control Panel, and I'm going to click the Color Management tab. Again, color monitor, you won't get a color profile. You want to get a color profile. There are a few kind of default ones that matches your monitor the best. If it is a bad color profile for your monitor, it'll give it a bluish cast. So you're going to have a few. You notice we have a few in here, like sRGB. That'd probably be a good one to start. Try to find a color profile that gives you the right color. Most people never go in this tab. This tab is really designed for graphic artists or photographers who are trying to get the picture to look on the screen like it does in their camera or in their head. And so that's why I think you're getting a blue cast, is the color temperature is wrong. You can download, and I would recommend doing it, download monitor drivers so that you have the right monitor in there, and then if you could find that, I would also get a color space profile that matches the one that works for your monitor best, if you can find it. There are two different kinds of profiles, .ICM and .ICC. If you can't, you can also make a color profile, and that might be the best thing to do. There's software out there that will allow you to say, put a test pattern on the screen, and you can say that should be bluer, that should be greener, that should be redder, and adjust it to the look you want. So that's what's happening. Because the monitor that you're using, Windows doesn't have any information about. It's probably not setting it to the right resolution, and it's probably not giving it the right color information. You can correct that in the Display Control Panel with a little tweaking. Does that make sense?
Yeah, because I kind of assumed that it was the color profile, but I used the default system inside of Vista. I'm not really sure what it's called.
Yeah, well, of course you do. And you know, notice I'm set that way too. That's a lot of Windows systems are set that way. When you say I want to optimize the picture on the screen, that's where you have to go, and you can't use default. You have to use something that's more accurate. Okay?
All right.
Does that make sense for you?
Definitely does.
Yeah, if it were a strong blue cast, if you weren't getting any blue, for instance, or you weren't getting any red, for instance, I'd say it's the cables. But if it's a light cast, it's just a color profile.
All right.
Hey, thanks for the call. I really appreciate it.
No problem, man.
Okay, Chris.
Can I give you the autograph as well?
Sure. Hang on the line. We'll get Brianna to get your address, and I'll send you one out.
All right.
All right. Coming up in just a little bit, we're going to talk about podcasting. Miss 604 is going to give you the podcasting 101. Also, we'll go from manual to automatic with Automator. That's Rick, the Automator MacMerc. He'll be here in a bit. Stay right here. Rick, the MacMerc Yeager, is here from MacMerc.com. He teaches people how to use their Macintoshes. He's going to teach people how to use Automator today. Yeah. Automator comes with all Macintoshes. It started, what, 2 or 3 years ago?
With the last operating system.
With Tiger.
With Tiger, yeah.
And it's a way to automate the things you do all the time. But it's so much more powerful than that.
It's kind of like, it's AppleScript built into little building blocks.
Right.
So you don't have to know the code.
You don't be typing nothing.
Yeah, you don't have to understand any code.
You don't be typing nothing. I just come from Brooklyn or something.
I don't know what happened there.
I don't know either. I was channeling Tony Soprano.
Perhaps.
So show us a little bit of Automator
I'm going to
kung fu here.
Show you a little something here. It asks you to choose.
This is Automator. Now this is running as a program. You would go to your Applications Utilities folder and run Automator.
Right.
That's what you get.
And
it's free. Comes with the Mac.
I just hold on.
What are you doing?
I was doing
it's
something
that little
stupid.
cute little robot.
That one.
Thing.
Just
that one.
So I'm going to make a little application that's going to take a time-lapse kind of video. By the end of it, it'll be a video.
Okay.
So what is?
So first of all, you see on the left the library of. They call these actions. These are things you can do. And now you're looking at all of them, but you see below library, you see calendar, content. These are all the different applications that have actions.
Let me take the.
So here's
one.
That's from the image viewing program, probably. Right?
No, I don't want that one. I want to take video snapshot.
There you go.
That one.
Okay.
And I'm going to save it to other. I have a special folder set up.
You've done this before, I see.
Yeah.
It's your Automator folder.
My time-lapse folder.
Okay.
And I'll take the picture automatically.
Oh, that's cool.
Then I want it to pause.
So you're programming without doing any programming, really.
Right. I don't need to know how to get it to grab that image or to use the camera.
You're going to pause for
5 seconds.
5 seconds.
Just let things happen, and then I'm going to make it loop.
Now, how do you do that? That's something you do a lot in programming where you say, keep doing it.
Loop.
Loop automatically.
Loop continually. Stop after 5 minutes.
So what you've said here, I mean, you've actually written a program that will take a video snapshot every 5 seconds for 5 minutes.
Very simple.
Wow.
And then once it's done, where are we going to do? We get the... Here, I'll
you can do a search, so this will narrow it down.
I want to make a slideshow.
Oh, wow.
So...
And that'll be coming probably from iPhoto.
Slideshow.
Oh, neat. Okay.
The source will be... I'll save it as...
My slideshow. My slideshow.
It's going to come from that folder that I specified before. Duration of 1 second.
You want it to go pretty
frame.
fast, yeah.
Right,
yeah.
And it's going to be a movie and self-contained.
Okay.
And then when I run this, I'll run it just to show you.
Now it's going to take pictures from your camera, built-in camera on your Mac.
Right.
Okay, so we should probably do a little acting here. Wait a minute.
I've got one prepared.
Okay.
So that took one.
Oh.
Now we have to wait 5 seconds.
It's time lapse, so actually we have to grow. We're going to get taller.
And then I'll move over, you move in. And takes another one.
That's disgusting.
Okay, so we don't want to do that for 5 minutes. But
it would be good if you were aiming at something like a plant growing.
Right.
So here's one you took of the show.
Here's one I prepared earlier.
Okay, this is me standing there. Oh, look, that's really, so there it is, that's time lapse. Oh, that's really scary. That's really cool.
Yeah, so it makes a little time-lapse movie.
The point is not so much getting a time-lapse movie, or we would have called this segment How to Make a Time-Lapse Movie. It's that you can use Automator to do all these amazing things.
These little simple things. And I'll show you another one. Here. Don't need to save that one. I've already
No.
done it before.
Who needs that?
And what this is going to do is get the RSS feed from a website and turn it into audio.
So it'll read you a website.
It'll read you the news.
Wow. And with the new Alex in Leopard, that voice is such a good voice, it'll actually sound better than Dan Rather.
Well, I don't know about that. Dan's pretty good.
Okay.
So first we'll start with today's date, and you'll find out why in a minute.
That's a variable. Okay, that's another thing. Some of these are command actions.
Right.
Some of them are variables.
So it's going to go figure out what today's date is and come back and then do the rest.
What a good way for a kid who's trying to learn programming to kind of get his feet wet or her feet wet into this idea of loops, conditionals, programming, variables.
Right. Because it gives you an idea of what's possible without having to know how to get it to work.
I think that's kind of neat.
Get specified URLs. And for that, I'm not going to use
Do people
Apple.
use Automator for really hardcore stuff, or is it just a toy?
You can use it for hardcore stuff, but there are actions in here where it says run AppleScript.
So then you can write a further program.
Then you can run into AppleScript programming. You can also put in terminal commands.
So you could really do anything as part of an Automator script.
If you know what you're doing, you can.
It allows you to package.
Make it much more powerful.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got.
It's interesting. I think Apple's found a very powerful niche market with AppleScript and Automator in things like pre-press, production, magazine production, things like that, where there are kind of a common process that they have to go through every single time they automate these. And really, thousands of companies are using these tools to automate stuff that normally is really kind of painfully done by hand.
Right, and that's why they call it Automator. It takes that really tedious step-by-step thing that, I mean, anybody could do, and makes the computer do it. That's why we made computers.
So is it reading news yet?
It's not reading news. I'm still putting in the parts. You want to hear the news? Do you want to jump ahead and?
No.
Okay.
Let's go. Okay. So you specified URL. You're going to have it read Apple's your website,
right?
Merc. Okay.
Correct.
And now text to audio file. You're going to use a voice Alex.
Right.
Save it as a file. So it's going to actually create a audio file that you'll save on the desktop.
Yes.
And then you put the date there again.
There, so that if I make a few of these every day, I'll be able to read.
So that's why you put that variable in at the very beginning.
Right.
And you knew you were going to use it later.
Also what crashed Automator. So.
Oh wow! It crashed. Is it pretty reliable, or is that unusual?
That's the first time it's crashed on me. So.
Of course, it would be the time that you're trying to demonstrate it on live television.
Yeah, it's only when I'm on TV. So
I'm tap dancing. Okay.
There it is.
That's how easy it is.
Here's what it looks like when it's done. After I made that audio file with today's date in it.
Oh, you put it in iTunes.
I put it in iTunes. Give it a new playlist. And then when I go over here.
So now when you sync up, let's hear what it sounds like.
MacMerc.com. Apple intros new multi-touch MacBook and MacBook Pros. 200802266 hours, 25 minutes, 40 seconds, minus 800. Apple today updated as MacBook and MacBook.
Yeah, it's reading the timestamp.
Yeah, which is not too interesting.
Get used to that.
Right.
Let's do some more. I think that was fun.
Hard drives and 2 gigabytes of memory standard.
He's very good. It sounds like a.
In addition, MacBook Pro includes the latest NVIDIA graphics processors, now with up to 512
That was
megabytes.
Completely automatic.
Yeah.
And it would happen every day.
Every day.
Automatically.
Drop your iPod onto the dock, and
that's really neat.
Got news there.
That's really neat. So is this a book you recommend from Belgium?
Yeah,
it just came out.
Yeah, it just came out because Leopard just came out, and
right.
I've been thumbing through it, and I'm finding I'm warming up to Automator a lot more than I.
This is kind of a beginner's guide. So,
exactly.
But what's nice about these quick start guides, as you might expect from the name, the visual quick start guide, there's a lot of illustrations. It's almost a cookbook. So if you like the way Rick just taught us how to use it, which was very visual, this is a good book for it. Ben Waldy just wrote it. In fact, I think it's one of the first Automator books. Automator for Mac OS 10, 10.5 Leopard.
Right.
This is a visual quick start guide from Peach Pit Press. Very cool.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Rick
No problem.
If you want to see more of Rick's work, you could have Alex read it at macmerc.com or go to our website, labwithleo.com, for more details. Now it's time to get a zoom-in close-up of something you might find every day around the lab. What the heck is that? It's a golf ball. I don't know. We'll find out. We'll zoom out to find out when the lab continues. Welcome back to the lab. We're going to do a little podcasting 101 with Miss 604 in just a little bit. But first, do I start with you? Ryan Ewell. No, first we tell you what this is. It's a giant golf ball. No, let's zoom out and find out. Wow. Hey, you wouldn't have gotten that, would you, Ryan?
No,
it's a PlayStation 3 controller. It was the little knob on there, the thumbstick.
That's good. That's a good one.
Yeah, I'm impressed. Fooled me.
Yes.
And you're a gamer. You should have gotten that right away.
In my old
So it's time for a free file. Ryan Ewell, what do you got for us?
Well, it's called Auto Hockey. Now, we've covered it before, but I thought I'd go a little bit more in depth because Rick was showing off what the Mac can do. I want to show off what the Windows can do with this thing like scripting.
I love this program.
So I'm going to try to do this on the fly. It's called Auto Hockey. You install it.
Auto Hockey.
Auto Hotkey.
Auto Hockey is something else.
Auto Hockey.
That's guys in cars with pucks. This is Auto Hotkey.
Yes, thank you.
And what it does is it actually be used for a lot of stuff. It can automate so much of your Windows operating system. You can even have keystrokes kind of to launch programs and files. But you're going to actually write a little mini program.
I'm going to try to write a mini program. So the first thing we do is we just right-click in a folder and go New and Auto Hotkey Script. Okay. So there you go. It's a script. Now we want to edit this script because right now it's a script that just doesn't have anything in it.
Doesn't do anything.
So right now I'm going to go edit the script.
Now they give you a lot of examples in the documentation.
Exactly.
And look, they automatically start with kind of a
Now this is a template, which basically, if you do a lot of coding and you want to have some things just starting out the same way every time, but we don't need any of this, so I'm going to get rid of this.
Okay.
So I'm going to go...
You're a brave man.
Ampersand, so $, N. I don't even know.
That's just a label. That's just a label.
So when you hit the Windows key for Auto Hockey, it's the little like tic-tac-toe sign. So that means when I hit...
number sign, or pound, we call that. Yeah.
So when I hit pound N, this is what the script's going to do. And we're going to say run Notepad.
Oh, that's cool.
.exe.
So
that's
you're saying
it.
anytime I hit pound N,
Run Notepad.
Run Notepad.
So we're just going to file, save this.
And you can set these to automatically start when you start your machine, so you
There
have
you
your
go.
kind of your script of actions that you do.
There you go. So now I'm just going to make sure that this script is active. So now it's active. So now if I hit the Apple key and N, there you go.
Whoa!
It came
Ran
up.
Notepad.
There you go. Now, one last thing, you're talking about how looping is one of the things that programmers
yeah.
use. So right now, if we...
We're going to put a loop in here?
We're going to quickly put a loop in here. So if I edit the script again, I'm going to move this down, and I'm going to go loop. And how many times do you want a loop Notepad being open?
3.
3 times. Okay, there you go.
Because we only have an hour-long show.
Okay.
Okay.
So then we're going to, there's a little bit of a learning curve here, but honestly the documentation is excellent.
What it is the ultimate and flexible tools. I mean, you can do anything with this.
Absolutely.
It's really remarkable. I use it all the time.
So we're going to save that. Now we're just going to make sure it's active again.
Just by double-clicking it?
Just by double-clicking it, make it active. And now if I go Apple N, I'm going to move these windows, and you can see there are 3 different windows
notepads.
there you go.
Could have 100 if you really wanted to mess with.
There you go. Now, this
time,
isn't really a
space.
very useful script, but it was something I could do on the fly.
There's a lot you can do with this.
You can change mouse clicks. You can do so much stuff. It's really powerful.
I recommend this. It's wonderful. And it's free.
It's free, and it has great documentation, which is always important with stuff like
It is
this.
a power tool for somebody who really wants to mess with Windows and make it,
There you go.
Bend it to your will.
Check
so to
it out.
speak. Where do we find that?
Go to labwithleo.com, free files, Jules,
There's
this,
a ton of them.
and many more.
190 of them.
Something like that.
Lots of them. Thank you, Ryan.
You're welcome.
Let's get another question on the air. Brianna, who do you have for me?
I have another guy named Chris.
All
Yep. And he's on the line waiting for you.
Okay, hey, hey, Chris, how are you today?
Good, how are you, Leo?
I'm great. Welcome to the show. What can I do for you?
I am trying to sync my laptop with 2 of my other computers that I use for my home-based business.
Okay.
And I want something kind of like I do with my PDA. I just kind of plug it in and away it goes.
Oh, yeah, wouldn't that be cool?
Yes.
So, your laptops are all on the same network?
Yes.
Okay. If you Google SYNCTOY, this is a free program from Microsoft. I'd give you the URL, but it's really long. But it's called SyncToy, SYNCTOY. This is designed to synchronize 2 different folders. It can be on one machine, or on 2 different machines, or on 3 different machines. So you can use SyncToy, have it running in the background, automatically keep all the things synchronized. It doesn't automatically run when you, like the PDA does, when you plug in the PDA, the sync runs. You'll have to manually start SyncToy. But SyncToy will keep them in sync.
Okay.
There is a more powerful tool from Centered Systems called Second Copy that's not free. I use it all the time. This is kind of my favorite synchronization utility. It's centered.com, and it essentially does the same thing. I use this as a backup utility. So what happens is I set up a variety of different synchronization schedules, and these will run. And so periodically, every couple of hours, I have it check my documents, see if anything's changed, and if it has, back it up to my external drive, my network-attached storage drive. So you could do exactly the same thing with a laptop or anything else. But again, this will only work when it's connected. The nice thing about Second Copy is if the laptop's not connected, it just ignores it. If it is connected, then the next time it runs, it'll do it. And you can have it run automatically every 10 minutes, every hour, every 5 hours, whatever you think is necessary. So this one's a little more automated.
Okay.
Now, here's a really cool way to do it. If they're not on the same network, it's also possible to use a centralized storage out there in the cloud. They call the internet cloud, that you copy stuff to using one of these programs, synchronize out to there, and then your laptop, wherever it is, without being connected, as long as it's online, can download that and synchronize and get the latest stuff.
That'd be perfect.
See, that way you can be, in Timbuktu, and if your laptop can get online, it can check and say, oh, there's new stuff, and synchronize it down. So this is a little more magical. What you need to do this is storage that's out in the internet cloud that can be mounted on the desktop as a drive. The one I use, and it's very affordable and is really great, is called Jungle Disk. It uses Amazon's S3 storage, which is also very affordable. You do have to pay for the storage, but you only pay for what you use. It's pennies a gigabyte, but you'll need this program. So Amazon's S3 service Actually, it's 15 cents a gigabyte. You can store an unlimited amount of data. There's no monthly subscription fee, no startup fee, so your bills can be nickels a month, whatever it is. It's through Amazon, very reliable. So that's the Amazon S3 service. What Jungle Disk does is give you an interface to it. Now, you notice I've got a Jungle Disk right here. Because I'm running the Jungle Disk software, the Jungle Disk shows up on my desktop, and there's contents in the Jungle Disk. Now, here's the beauty. I'm going to go over to my Windows machine, which is also running Jungle Disk. On the Windows machine, the Jungle Disk shows up as a mounted disk. So if I go to my computer, there's my Jungle Disk. I can mount it, open it up, and the files that were on the Mac, I can see here. It's as if I have a central drive that both the Mac and the PC are connected up to. And the beauty of this is it can be anywhere in the world. It can be over the internet. So now if I'm running SyncToy or Second Copy, it'll look and see what's on the Jungle Disk, which in this case I've made to be the J disk. And it'll say, is there anything new on the J disk? Great, copy it down to our local disk. When you disconnect from the internet, you've got everything there. That was a very complicated thing I just told you. Did you follow it?
Oh, yeah.
You're brilliant. So I'll kind of conceptualize this so it's simple. You could have these computers connected together and have them just copy, synchronize. But the best way to do it is have somewhere out there have some storage that they can check in with and say, is there anything new? And if there is, download it. So I can, over here, this is the beauty part. Here I am on the Mac. I'm going to copy a file. Let's copy this Lab with Leo 147 AVI. I'm copying it to the Jungle Disk. It's copying it over to the internet. Now, if I go to the Windows machine in a couple of seconds, it'll be visible on the Windows machine. It's going to take a little bit of time to refresh. So this way, let me close it and open it again. All right, what is it, F5 to refresh? Let's see if it does it. It's taking a little bit of time. It doesn't happen immediately, but the Windows machine now will be able to see it just as if it was mounted there. So by copying it out to this Jungle Disk, I've suddenly made a copy available to my Windows machine, no matter where I am in the world. Jungle Disk is $20. You can try before you buy. The S3 service, you pay as you go, 15 cents a gigabyte of storage. So, 10 gigabytes is $1.50 a month. It's very affordable. So that's what my best recommendation. I think this is what the power users would use. I use it all the time. I love this. It works on Mac, PC, Linux. It is a brilliant solution. It's encrypted if you want, so that there's completely private. Nobody can see it. It's just magical. All right?
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, I would try that. Jungle Disk and Second Copy. It's heaven. It's nirvana. Thanks for the call. I appreciate it.
All right. Thank you.
Take care. Have a great day. That's Chris from Lashburn, Saskatchewan. Coming up in just a little bit, we're going to talk about headphones. But first, what does XLR stand for? Our quick quiz question of the day. It's a microphone thing, right? Is it extendable, lossless, ruggedized? Is it Canon X latch plus rubber? Is it extra large receptacle? Or it doesn't stand for anything? This is a tough one. Think about it. We'll talk about it later as the lab continues. Oh gosh, if I blush, it's because I'm talking to Miss 604. Rebecca Baldwin is famous all over the world. She is the queen of Vancouver. That's where the 604 comes from, right?
Yeah.
That's the area code.
The area code, yeah.
For the phone numbers in Vancouver. She does a blog, miss604.com, but she also has 2 podcasts. Mm-hmm. Can you tell us what those are?
Sure. Radio Zoom is...
What's that about?
Vancouver Life. We toss in some music that we play that's pod safe.
Yeah.
And
the Crazy Canucks.
And the Crazy Canucks is a roundtable podcast with about 4 other bloggers, which I co-host. We just talk about the Canucks. We try to every week after every game and
have fun.
Yeah.
So some of this stuff you do at home in the studio, but some of this you do on the go.
Yeah.
And that's what we're going to show you today: is how to do on the cheap. On the go, on the cheap.
Yes,
podcasting. So first, I guess you should explain that podcasting is radio shows on the internet, basically, right?
Yep, portable audio.
Yeah.
Yeah, from the internet.
Right.
You can take anywhere, yeah.
And you've been doing this for a long time.
About 4 years.
How'd you get inspired to start doing podcasting?
Well, I met a boy, and
that'll happen.
he was a Radio Geek podcaster, and I ended up marrying him. So
I was going to say, you met a boy, but now she's married to the boy.
Yeah.
That's great. Was he a Canucks fan?
No, he's from the States.
Oh,
he's
that's
from far away,
funny.
so I had to
He doesn't
convert
know
him.
about hockey. We don't have
not very
hockey in the
much.
States. We have an imitation. All right, so cool. So we're going to do an audio show. We're going to put it on a website. People are going to be able to download it and listen to it. That's basically what a podcast is. Where do we start? We start with a microphone?
We start with, well, what I use for mobile recording, what we use
You
is...
use that? What is that?
Just a Nano.
It's an
and,
iPod.
Yeah.
Let me show you here. So, and this is a mic that goes into the bottom connector of the iPod. This is the, what is that called?
It's a Belkin Tune Talk.
Tune Talk.
Yeah.
And so, would I hold this up to you and you talk into it?
Yeah, that's about it. It just records it as a voice memo on the iPod.
Oh, that's neat. Is the quality pretty good?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's
Good enough
really
to put on the air.
Oh yeah.
That's cool. So this would be good if you were going to. Do you actually go like that?
Yeah.
If you're going to interview somebody, that's
Yeah,
cool.
it gets some background noise as well. I was on the ferry a couple of weeks ago, and it recorded the little welcome aboard announcement.
That's
so,
okay.
Yeah.
You're going to get that no matter what you use.
Oh, no, it's
$70 for that, and an iPod. This will work with almost any iPod. Okay, so now we get this off of our iPod and put it on our computer. Now we need to edit it, right? We need to add stuff and music and lots of commercials so we can become rich. So how do we do that?
Basically, you export the audio. It'll just be a voice memo.
Okay.
You grab it. You can grab it in iTunes. So it'll be
There it
an
is.
uncompressed wave right there, the nano
Okay.
recording.
Oh, that's pretty good quality.
And
All right.
you right-click, convert to MP3, and that's basically what you work with, the MP3 file.
Wow, that was easy.
It's done. And then I use a program called Ubercaster, which is just for the Mac.
But there are similar programs on Windows as well. I know. Yeah,
that's right.
This kind of does it all for you. This is so easy.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
This is all we need.
Yeah. So show me how Ubercaster works. I've always wanted to see
So
this.
Ubercaster, you can set up templates. So I have, if I'm doing an internal podcast within Ubercaster, a Skype chat, I have my in and outro music set there already. And what I'm going to do is just grab that nano recording that I just made, and I have another template set up.
Ubercaster's from Pleasant Software, ubercaster.com. About $80.
So you can go to record and toss in these tracks, but I have some cut up here. So here's the editing part of it under cut, and basically just take the MP3, drop it in. There it is.
Well, that was easy.
Yep.
You could also trim it if you wanted to. If you wanted to take out the boat announcements or whatever, you could do that.
Yep, you just go to track edit and
Okay.
chop it, and I've got another template right here.
So it's really, it's an editor. It's a multi-track mixer. You're going to mix in your commercials, your music, your announcements.
Yep, so I've chopped up that track I had there before, recorded on the Nano. And once that's all done, once you have everything in place, you can even fade music in, fade the outro out, and you just hit release. And it has all your ID3 tags, everything
Now,
that you
this
need.
is the thing that could really confuse somebody who's creating a podcast, is getting all of this information in the right form. So part of it's attached to the file, as you said, as ID3 tags, including album art. And then you also have to get that same information out to iTunes.
Yes.
Will this do that also?
It will. I have a little upload to server button right here.
So it just takes the information you filled out already?
Yeah, you fill out this information and...
So it's length, it's name, it's artist, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, everything about that.
Album art.
Episode number.
You can
and
even put, I see, a description in, so you could kind of type some more
Yep,
information,
in this
put show
episode.
notes in there, right?
we did, whatever. And you hit release, and that uploads it to the server. Now, that means...
Who's the server?
Ours.
That's one thing. You do have to have a
Yeah.
server.
So as soon as I hit release on this through Ubercaster, it's going to your server. It's not going out to your audience quite yet.
Yes, it's not
So
published
there's-
yet.
Yeah, a few more steps we need to go
Now,
through.
you're running a WordPress blog, which makes this very easy.
Yes.
So you're
Love
uploading it.
WordPress.
You just now uploaded it to your WordPress blog.
Yep. So I'll basically go into the back of, let's go to Radio Zoom.
This is the administration interface for the WordPress blog here.
So I will go to write a blog post. And
So
I
you just
have
create a new post.
Yep.
We just put up the new Radio Zoom.
Yep, here it is. I actually have one ready right here. And then I have a plugin for WordPress called PodPress, which makes all of this really simple. It puts a player on the website, like this
There's
right
a
here.
little flash player, so you can
Little
listen.
flash player.
That's cool.
And it also pushes it to iTunes.
It does the RSS stuff, the iTunes stuff.
It does. So once you're done writing up your blog post, you go add media file.
This is
choose your
the
location.
PodPress thing that you're using now. This is the PodPress plugin, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Auto detect.
So if anybody who's used
size,
WordPress, the text part
duration.
you'll recognize, but this part down here is new, added by this plugin.
That's right. And all you do is hit publish, and this is what pushes it out to your feed using
you couldn't get easier.
PodPress in WordPress.
That's fantastic.
And now the episode's published, and if I refresh Radio Zoom, it should be up there.
Did you really?
There it is.
You just published a podcast?
I just did, yeah.
Wow. Wow, that's really cool. So the keys are you have a recorder of some kind. This Belkin is a really great way to add a recording to an iPod. Ubercaster, which lets you edit, combine, mix, put in the sounds. And then you use PodPress as part of your WordPress installation to do the really nitty-gritty stuff of posting it up to iTunes. Boy, that's about as easy as you can get.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
For sure.
Well, Miss 604, it's such a pleasure meeting with you. Thank you for helping Amber win that contest.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the CBC. What was that?
The CBC Test the Nation.
Test the Nation.
Team
She
Blogger.
was the blogger team with Amber, and you guys just rocked. You just won the whole thing.
Yeah.
She's brilliant. Her blog, swept it. Swept it. Miss604.com is the blog, and then Radio Zoom is at radiozoom.com?
Radiozoom.net.
.net.
TheCrazyCanucks.com is the other one.
All right, we have all the links on our show notes at labwithleo.com. So nice to meet you, Rebecca. Rebecca Ball at Miss 604. All right, coming up in just a bit, or now. Do I do a Shawn Shiny now? All right, we're going to take a break, come back, we'll do Shawn Shiny and more of your calls. We're going to talk about headphones, too, with Derek K. Miller. It's all ahead as the lab continues. You stay right here. Thank you. Welcome back to the lab. Let's get another caller here, Brianna.
I have Jeff, and he's from Calgary, Alberta.
But isn't that an Australian flag behind him there? Hello, Jeff. You're confusing me.
Well, it's not quite Australian. It's from New Zealand.
New Zealand. Oh, gosh, all the Kiwis are going to get mad at me now. Are you a Kiwi?
No, not yet. Maybe someday.
Yeah, New Zealand's beautiful. What can I do for you today?
Well, I recently made the switch from Corel to Adobe CS3.
Good move. You're using Photoshop now.
Yep. And I want to find some training DVDs that would help me ramp up the speed a bit faster.
I'll actually not recommend a DVD, but something that's going to be much more flexible and give you a much better value, I think, which is the website lynda.com, Lynda.com. You pay a subscription fee. This is not free, but I think it's much more affordable than those DVDs. There are a lot of great DVDs out there. My friend Alex Lindsay, for crying out loud, makes one for DV Garage. But lynda.com is the best online training I've ever seen. I have a number of friends who work for this. You can get them as DVDs, but I like the idea of having it online, and I can go to the lessons that I want when I want them, when I'm ready for them, and they're always available to me. I don't have to find the DVDs and so forth. You see, there's a lot of Photoshop CS3 in here, from basic to advanced. There are over 3,000 online movies on here. They use the best trainers. It's a really great way to learn. I'm a big fan of lynda.com. Very high quality stuff. This is my good friend Ben Long, actually. I didn't even know I was going to get Ben. Ben's one of the best Photoshop guys I know. So you're getting really high quality training online. Highly recommend it. Lynda.com.
Okay, perfect. That's
okay?
Great. Yeah, thanks very much, Leo.
And when you go to New Zealand, please give him my regards.
Will do.
All right. Hey, thanks a lot. All right, time for a shiny. Let's head on over to Shawn. This is literally a shiny. It's a light bulb.
This is the shiniest one we've shown off so far. So how do you like that?
Great. Okay, so good. Thank you very much.
Yes.
That's where you get light bulbs. Why? What's the big deal?
Well,
it's a light bulb.
You've heard of compact fluorescence?
Yes.
They save energy?
Yes.
This is LED.
Oh,
interesting.
This
is the next generation of this.
Wow. Now, this is as bright and as white as a regular incandescent light bulb.
This one is equivalent to about 40 watts. There's a 60-watt one coming, maybe out by the time you see this, but it's not.
Now, are these much more expensive?
Oh, yeah.
I knew there was a catch.
Yeah.
But they last how long?
They last a lot longer, probably 50, 60 times.
Even longer than the compact fluorescence lasts.
About 8 compact fluorescent bulbs this will last for
See,
that.
the whole world is moving away from incandescent. It's such a waste of electricity. Compact fluorescent saves you money in the long run, unless you break the bulb, which
But it's got toxic chemicals in it.
It's got mercury in it.
It'll cause brain damage.
So this is, and it's cool?
It's cool. It will heat up a little bit around the base.
It's not bad.
Will diffuse heat, but you can actually grab the bulb like this. And you try doing this with a regular bulb.
And it lasts longer. I mean, ultimately, these would be especially good because they're smaller than compact fluorescents. In those, overhead lighting fixtures, you can't put a fluorescent in.
Right.
They don't flicker. I noticed it turn on right away.
Yep. It's also only 4 watts.
4 watts?
4 watts.
For a 40-watt bulb.
Right.
Pros and cons.
You can actually use one of the regular lampshades on top of one of these too, which is a plus that I didn't put here.
Yeah.
But look at that. It lasts 50 times longer and no mercury. No mercury.
No mercury. Very much cooler.
Yeah.
You know what? $60 is not bad.
$60.
Because you're never going to change this bulb.
It seems pricier than it really is when you do all of them.
And they don't have other colors. It's just white.
It's just white. Well, I mean, if you prefer the redder tone,
you can paint it.
I suppose.
That's amazing. Look at, I could put that in my mouth. All right. I'm excited. That, and they'll come down. That's the future, isn't it? Of saving energy. 4 watts. All right. Last chance to take our quick quiz question of the day. For audio connectors XLR, what is it good for? Absolutely. Oh no, that's a song. What does it stand for? Do you know? Tell you what, we'll come back and tell you when the lab continues. Welcome back to the lab. Before the break, we asked you what XLR stands for. It's the microphone connector. I'm thinking it doesn't stand for anything. No? Canon X latch rubber? How do you get Canon? It's a Canon plug, but how do you get that to X?
It was a model number.
Oh, okay. It's the X version of it. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
You're like the guy who does Inside Home Recording.
I just presumed it was.
I thought it was
letters.
XLR. It's XLent. He is XLent. He is Derek K. Miller, the host, along with Paul Gary, of
Inside
Home Recording podcast here, which is now going to be video. So it's InsideHomeRecording.com for audio, InsideRecording.tv for
video. Just short little video things. We're starting off with some basic, like this sort of thing.
So we got to be kind to our ears. Yes. You know, I'm really mad at Apple because they made these little earbuds, and everybody uses the white earbuds. They don't sound good. They're not comfortable. There are better ways to go.
There are, and we're going to talk about some.
So where do we start?
So the earbuds that you get with your typical iPod, they sort of just hang in your ears. They don't fit very well, and you have to crank them up too loud, and you can damage your hearing.
Right.
One of the things that professional musicians use on stage, instead of speakers on the stage now, a lot of them use in-ear monitors.
I saw Bono when I saw U2.
Yeah.
It was fitted into his ear.
Yeah,
you couldn't even see it.
Custom molded. You can get that. That costs a lot of money. These are fairly high-end ones from a company called Etymotic.
These are what I use.
First ones.
I love them.
These are the E4P model.
Yep.
They cost about $300, I think.
But the sound.
Fairly high-end, sound amazing. You won't believe what kind of sound you can get out of such little headphones.
And these flanges seal your ears.
They go right in there.
I mean, they're for concert musicians where there's a lot of noise, and you just hear you. You don't hear it.
It's great for when you're on a plane or on the train, or you don't want to be wearing them while you're riding a bicycle because you can't actually.
No, you get run over.
But if you're on a plane, I like these better than noise canceling headphones because they just block the sound out.
One time I forgot these, and I had to listen to the woman behind me for an hour and a half. I was going to kill myself. No, actually, I should kill her. But anyway, these are a lifesaver.
Yeah, really good. There are other high-end models from companies like Ultimate Ears and Future Sonics, and Shure is another company that makes a lot.
These are the most expensive in-ear monitors made, I think.
Well, not these ones. The Shure these are the SCL2.
But they make a $500 pair.
Well, and if you get Ultimate Ears and the custom ones, you can spend $1,000, $1,200.
Wow.
Easy. But these are only about $100.
Let me hold them.
And they come with, I don't have all of them, they come with a bunch of different tips. These are like foam earplugs.
Yeah.
They have the silicone rubber, they have the clear silicone.
So they don't have the flange tip, that's kind of an Etymotic thing.
No, you can get the flange tip as well. But they come with a whole bunch of different ones, so you can find the ones in different sizes.
These cost a lot less than the Etymotics. Are they as good?
They don't sound as good, but for just general listening, they're great. If you just want iPod replacement and you want to block the sound out, or you want to use it on a plane,
that's pretty good.
$100, you can't beat them.
Yeah.
But they only have a single driver inside, and they don't have as much clarity at the high end.
The amazing thing about in-ear monitors is you can get pretty good bass because it's right next to your eardrum.
Yeah, but the thing about them is you really have to get them wedged right in there.
And sometimes that makes people gag a little bit.
Yeah, because some people don't like the feel. So if you're not comfortable with that, you can go with sort of the more traditional style.
Yeah, these you can wear for hours. I can't wear my Etymotics all day, but I can wear these much longer.
This is maybe the best deal in headphones today. They're called the Sennheiser PX100, and they come in this case.
Look at this. You're going to love this.
You pop that open, and you unwrap the cable.
Take it out of the camera because we won't see what you're doing.
Unwrap the cable.
Okay.
And then they just come out and unfold.
I like how compact they are.
Yeah, and then they unfold into regular headphones.
That's really great.
Like old Walkman style.
Sennheiser makes pretty good headphones.
These sound great.
Sennheisers for years.
And they're really comfortable. They're
very light.
They're open headphones. These two we're talking about are called open, which means
the
sound.
Ear. They sit there.
Yeah, the sound gets in and out. So if you're recording in a studio like what I'm doing, the problem is if you have a vocal mic right there,
they don't seal it out.
You're listening to like a backing track. Some of it will leak into the thing.
They don't seal it. They don't seal at all.
And
So for when we work in the studio, we wear these.
Yeah, and
these are what most studio.
Well, these aren't even sealed. These are also open, but they don't let quite as much sound in and out. But you can wear them for hours and hours.
They're so comfortable.
Those are the ones you use.
This is what I use on my radio show. For years, I've used these on radio.
AKG 240s. Every studio has dozens of pairs of these.
Right.
They've got this cool automatic headband that sort of just fits your head when you get it on there. Really nice, about $120. These Sennheisers are about $70. Great deal. So if you just got to replace your iPod earphones, get these.
That's not bad at all. And look how compact they are when they fold up.
And then when they fold up, you can put them in the case and chuck them in your backpack. You don't have to worry about
they're
breaking
protected. That's right. That's a really good thing. All right. What else you got here?
Well, over here, these are what most studio people... Well,
references.
To a degree. This is sort of a range of prices, but what these are is these are called sealed headphones. If you put them on,
nothing leaks out.
Yeah, they block the sound out. I can hardly hear you. And they don't let the sound from here, if you're singing into a microphone, they're not going to block it either.
Those are Sennheisers.
So these are the Sennheiser HD 280 Pros.
Okay.
Depending on where you buy them, between $120 and $200, something like that.
Again, and these you're not necessarily looking for perfect fidelity.
Well,
the Modics would be better fidelity.
Well, these are actually surprisingly good because they're reference headphones. The thing with most closed back sealed headphones is they're designed for DJs and other people who like a lot of bass.
Sound like this, yeah.
So if they have a lot of bass, they're not accurate. These are designed to be accurate.
They're for musicians.
For musicians and for people working in TV and so like here. Similarly, Audio Technica's ATH M50s, very similar design to these. I find these a little more comfortable.
It looks like a softer cut.
They don't clamp your head quite as much, but they don't block out quite as much sound either. So it's sort of a compromise. This is a relatively new company called Ultrasone from Germany.
Never heard of them, huh? It's funny how almost all of these come from Germany. I don't know why that is. They're good with the sound.
Ultrasone, new company, these sound incredible. They're about $300. They're pretty expensive. These are in the $100 to $200 range.
Those on. So this is the way to go, it sounds like.
So what it is those ones, they've angled the drivers inside so that you get a wider sort of sound and much more bass and treble. I was quite surprised by those.
And they're $300.
They're $300. So you can spend a lot more than that. But for steel headphones, those are a pretty good value. If you think about what you spend on speakers, if you're going to get speakers for your studio,
$300 isn't much, is it?
Yeah, and you get much better sound out of these than you would out of the same sort of price speaker.
Right.
So, that's sort of the range. But what you've got is you've got the in-ear monitors, which seal the sound.
Yep.
The open headphones, which are comfortable, good for mixing, general use.
Yep.
And the closed headphones. These will even run off an iPod too, so if you don't mind looking, sort of like a hipster on.
I always see people with those in the iPod, and I think, well, that's not quite right. That's not right.
Then these are, good. These sort of style are good. So you basically got the open and closed and the in-ears.
Derek K. Miller. He is the musician at penmachine.com, blogging since 1999.
2000.
2000.
Yeah.
Long-time blogger. Puts his music up there for you to download and listen to for free, which is awesome. You'll also catch him on this show frequently and on his podcast, InsideHomeRecording.com. We get all the links to all his products on our website, labwithleo.com. Thank you, Derek.
Thanks, Leo.
Really great to see you. Boy, you make me want all of them. I love them.
I got way too many.
I love them. Me too. Isn't that funny how you collect headphones like microphones? We'll be right back with Brianna's tip. We're going to get bubblicious in just a little bit. You stay right here. It's so boring to put the canned greeting cards that everybody gets the same card. Brianna found a really cool site that lets you do video greeting cards, your own videos.
Yeah, it's bubblejoy.com, and it's really simple, and it's really good for, I guess, if you have relatives that live across the country and you want to play them a video.
Look at that. And look, it comes in that little TV set. I like that.
You can change the background. It's your choice.
Bubblejoy.com.
Yeah.
Oh, isn't that cute? Hey, we're so glad you were here. We'd like to send you a video greeting. Thanks for being here, and we'd like to get you back. All you got to do is go to the website, labwithleo.com, for all the information about the show, the stuff we talked about, and to get on the show by asking a question on that website. Thank you, Brianna.
Send it to me.
We'll see you next time on The Lab. Bye-bye.